Okay, so chainsaw carving. I said I would do it the following day, and I didn't. So this is one of the pieces that I sliced a couple pieces off of to wood burn, and I didn't like how it cut because the inside of this just has some funny markings where it's like gray. This is irrelevant mostly. So this is some kind of maple. I think it's a silver maple. And again, scavenged it, free wood. And I'm gonna do an owl, and I'm gonna do a really familiar owl to me, where it's gonna be kind of cute and round. So like round body and then head. If it goes well, I'm gonna give it to my mom for her birthday. If it goes poorly, we'll call it practice for a potential birthday gift in the future for her. So either way, it's fine, it works out. So I had been doing kind of more like owls looking to the side, but I decided for this one to try my familiar rock owl that I've done a few times that I really like. It's cute. It's pretty simple because with rock stuff, like that's kind of the way to go to start. But I decided to do it for this because it's familiar to me and I like how it looks. So I am going to try and give him a tail and stuff as well, which I haven't always done with my rock carvings, but I will try to do that. Otherwise, we're going to keep it pretty simple. So big, funny, round head, round body, and then we're gonna go from there with details. The feathering pattern I'm gonna go with is more the classic, like individual feather type look, because it just makes it feel a little bit more cartoony, which that's kind of the vibe I'm going for, versus like hyper realistic or whatever. I don't know. So in case you haven't watched my other chainsaw carving videos, my chainsaw is a little tiny electric one. It's a 14 volt, 16-inch bar. It's not super crazy fancy, and it wasn't expensive, and it's also, I think, a pretty good beginner chainsaw. For someone who's never owned a chainsaw and never done anything with chainsawing, it's been good to me. So that's what we're working with. So it'd be cool to burn this guy. I don't have a blowtorch as of right now, but that would be a cool thing to have, and then be able to torch it. So I don't have a good way of doing that, but I think that does really make wood carvings, especially like chainsaw carvings, kind of like come to life. It's coming at you, it's 3D. But yeah, to just begin with, all you need is like, you know, some safety gear, boots, chaps, goggles. Mine were on the ground because I like to keep shit on the ground so I can step on them. And then you just need a chainsaw. And if your town or something has a like brush, tree, branch, grass clippings disposal place that you can just go and drop stuff off, that's a really good place to scavenge wood. That's what I do, and no one stopped me yet. So it is now hot again. It was like 60s, and now it's like 85, 90 again. So this weather is giving me some whiplash. So bird, that's what we're doing. Or I guess more specifically, owl. Sorry, maybe I didn't say that earlier. Owl, cute owl. Boom, let's do it. Also, if you want to become a patron member, I'll put that right here. You can do that and support me that way. That's cool. And to everyone just liking and watching and subscribing, thank you. You're the reason that this continues to fuel me, and I'm excited to carve stuff for you guys and go on that journey and try dumb projects. And for the most part, the support and the feedback is really, really positive, and like they're like, hell yeah, lady, you get it. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you, I will get it. So thank you. Okay, so I would call this a pretty big win for me. I'm pretty fucking happy with it. I would say maybe more than happy. I'm like pretty jazzed. Like, it looks like a friggin' owl, okay? And it's basically like my little drawings that I made that I was like, I want a little squat body and a big old crazy head with these funny like horns. And then I use my angle grinder, and all those circle bits, blades, whatever, are really good for eyeballs. They like work really well. So I think I'm gonna add some definition obviously to his eyes, because that's where he's gonna pop, you know? So, but yeah, I left some of this bark on because it's a really cool orangish silver. Like, it's just cool. So I have a piece right here to kind of match his wing that fell off that I will sorry, my dog must bark. That'll put back on, I think, because I just like some of the bark. Maybe I could have left more on the front, but big chunks of it really wanted to just like fall away once I started carving it. And then I just used a big old drill bit to do the pupils or whatever. But I think defining this whole eye socket area would make his eyes look more, yeah, just more. But yeah, his beak turned out pretty well. I think it would be cool to sand him down a little bit better, but I have yet to get more sandpaper. If you watched my wood burning video, I talked about that I'm like out of sandpaper. How does that happen? Like, you think you have like, oh, I have a shitload of sandpaper, and then suddenly you're just out. So I have to get more sandpaper. It would be cool to burn some of my wood carvings. I would like to do that. That would probably be really satisfying and fun, and potentially dangerous because it's been super dry. Don't let the green behind me fool you. It's been so dry where I live. But I have to make do with what I got, so I will do something else with this. My chainsaw carving journey continues, and like fucking hell yeah, rock and roll, baby. Like, I'm getting, if this isn't an improvement, then I don't know what is. Like, my bear was an improvement, and this is definitely an improvement. I think this shape for an owl is a little bit more familiar to me because of all the rock carvings I've done like this, and because I just like it. The ones with their heads turned, it is cool, but it's probably not like a beginner shape, potentially, because I'm definitely a beginner. So yeah, I mean, heck yeah, if this doesn't inspire you, well, I don't know what will. But I'm a noob. You're literally like, I'm not like secretly going off and chainsaw carving without filming it and telling you guys. It's very one-to-one. I'm doing projects, and I'm thinking about it obviously, and I'll like draw little like sketches and think about like, I'll look up like pictures, both cartoon and like realistic, and then I'll also look up like wood carvings of that thing, those are kind of like two extremes, and then the middle is the wood carving, because I'm not gonna get it to be super, super realistic, and I don't want it to be like completely cartoony, like no definition, no detail, etc., super flat. I want it to like have some 3D elements. I try to give him a tail, which I will probably have to like flip him upside down if I want to do more with that, because my base here that I carve on is bigger than this, so I couldn't really get at it super well. So I'd have to probably pivot it. My angle grinder worked so good for kind of like, I smoothed out his head a little bit, and then his eyeballs. Yeah, I figured, I had that idea before, but I just didn't want to go and haul out my angle. Not that it's heavy, but I just didn't want to get it. You know how sometimes you're just feeling lazy. So, but today I was like, no, I'm gonna do that, because this is definitely gonna help me get his big old eyeballs look huge and really, yeah. So I think they just need a little bit more definition like up here to make them look really, really round. I think that would help. Ugh. I'm sitting on a log, it's kind of jabby. So obviously I'm not like a professional chainsaw carver. So, like, why should you watch my videos? Well, I mean, first of all, like, not every, you see all these like super amazing chainsaw carvers, but like they had to start somewhere, they had to start like point A and then go from there. So, I mean, that applies to like all kinds of shit, but like this is super, super new to me. Chainsaws are new to me. I think some of the other things I've done obviously transfer over, like being handsy, that makes me sound like a pervert. Being hands-on and doing like rock carving stuff. Like I took a lot of art classes in school, and also having a good like head for like spatial stuff and being able to like look at a flat picture of like an owl and then being like, okay, what does the back side of that owl look like? And it's like, okay, well, it's got a tail and the back of its head and its neck, and you can see parts of its wings. Like I'm good at that, which is handy, but it's also a skill that you can just learn and develop over time via experience. And that means you just have to do the thing. So this is me doing the thing, and you can like see me getting better, which is really, really great. And I hope it's inspiring to noobs, like the professionals. That's inspiring to me, and it probably is to other noobs as well. But this hopefully is also inspiring that like I'm a beginner and you just have to do the thing and you'll get better over time. And it might take you longer, it may take you faster. You might be faster than me with getting better, etc. You might have like a grandpa who like has been chainsaw carving forever and he can teach you all of the skills, but most people are just gonna have to like dive in and figure it out as they go. And I hope that this is that to people, because I'm not a professional, but I am just diving in and trying, and I hope that's like, you know, kind of like motivating to people of like, yeah, she's doing it, you can do it too. Get yourself a little tiny chainsaw. You don't have to drop like $200, $300, $400 on this stuff. It can of course be like a money pit getting into a new hobby, but I would say like, you know, dip your toes in with less than $100, you know, and then go from there. If you want to upgrade, you can, but if you're like, oh Jesus Christ, Kita, come here. Oh, you're so dumb. Okay, sit. Right, chainsaws. Okay, so now she's gonna like breathe heavily at me. Any hobby like this, I feel like dipping your toes in with a basic thing and then going from there, because no one's ever gonna complain about having one or two of the same type of power tool. Like I have 2 or 3 drills, and I like use all of them all the time. They're all awesome. And the same could be said for probably a bigger tool, like a chainsaw, a smaller one, maybe an electric one, and then you upgrade and get like a gas one, which is probably what I'll do eventually. So you can always upgrade, especially when you're getting into a new hobby, but you probably don't want to drop like hundreds and hundreds of dollars on that thing to begin with. Just saying, okay? Just word of the wise. I've known people who have done that, and then there sits their hundreds, if not like $1,000 or several $1,000s, if these people are just like made of money or something, in their garage or their basement, and they're just kind of like, oh, I don't even care about that. What are you doing? I don't know. People are weird. I'm against that. I think you should try lots of things, but maybe don't just go all in at once. So my SunJoe chainsaw, super simple. It was cheap, and it's getting me into it without breaking the bank. My angle grinder, I asked for it. I got it as a gift. I know it's an expensive one, or a much nicer one, because it's a DeWalt. And then, oh yeah, I just used my drill to do his eyeballs, but I went with one of my bigger drill bits to get the idea. And then I think I will end up giving this to my mom for her birthday, because I think once I like sand some stuff and really highlight some details, I think it'll look pretty cool. I think she'll appreciate it. She appreciates all my DIY projects and gifts and things. If anyone doesn't appreciate your DIY gifts, fuck those people. So rude. Do-it-yourself gifts, like things that you homemade gifts that you made yourself, like you had to like put like thought and love and energy into that thing. You didn't just go to the store and buy things, you know. And don't get me wrong, I like being gifted fun things that I've asked for, or things that people think like, I think you'll really like this. Like, I love that. But when somebody makes you something, it can be like really, really special. And so the people who do that for you, you should appreciate them, because not everybody can and not everybody will. And not to say the people who buy gifts are like less than, or those gifts don't matter as much. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying some people don't appreciate like handmade gifts, and I think that's a bummer because it's definitely kind of a lost art, and it can be really wholesome and cute, and like, you know, this person maybe doesn't have the money to spend on you, but they have like time and energy, and they made a thing for you. So that's just my 2 cents about that. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to keep this guy because, like, I don't know, he just looks good, and I just like it. I think I need to fix his nose. It looks a little flat from this. Maybe it needs to be more rounded. But I think I can just sand it down once I get sandpaper. Yeah, I do kind of want to keep him, but that's okay. I got my bear, and I'll do another bear, and I'll do another owl. I'll keep going. It is September, so it's gonna start getting cold here. So I'll probably be doing at least a couple more chainsawing things before it gets like wicked cold. So that's the plan anyway. Ugh, let's get a different angle. What do these look like from this way? Still pretty good. Look, he's got a big wing. Yeah, it looks good. So, oh, there's sawdust in just all over my dog. Oh boy. She's watching some squirrels. She's protecting everybody from squirrels. Okay, so I have a Patreon. Check out my Etsy shop. I will be adding new stuff to that. And then also I have a Cutsall promo code if you want to shop at Cutsall. And you should if you're into carving and stuff. So if you use my promo code, you can get a discount, and then I get a percentage of your purchase. All of that stuff is in the description below if you care about that. Otherwise, just keep watching. Go and carve some things because it's pretty satisfying, I think. I think I'll maybe do some kind of October-y spooky thing. I'm not sure what that will look like exactly. I have it written down somewhere to, in the fall, carve a pumpkin, do something like Halloween-y. So maybe we'll talk more about that Ouija board situation. Just kidding. Good girl. So anyway, be on the lookout for more of my carving videos, because I'll be kind of probably plowing through several before it gets too cold, as well as doing some spooky things with wood burning, etc. for Spooky Festival. So I think you guys are great. I really, really do appreciate you. So I'll have a new video next week, and thanks for watching.